Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the Toolbox. Chaplain Miller here. The Toolbox is a place for you to anonymously and randomly send your questions to me that you've had about the Bible, about the faith, or whatever, and I make a simple little video just answering the question. Now, this week is a question about the liturgy. Maybe somebody has asked, hey, is your church liturgical or non-liturgical? And your first response might be, what are you talking about? Is that some kind of like a medical term? Are you talking about surgery? Right? So no, they're not talking about surgery. Typically what people are referring to if they ask you whether or not your church is liturgical or non-liturgical is if it's a traditional style of worship or a non-traditional style. In the sense that liturgy is a word that comes from the Greek word liturgia, which means service, not in the sense of a service that you attend, but service that you do or work that you do. So the liturgy is the work that people do to worship God. Now, a lot of churches have this kind of set in a standard format that people would refer to normally as a traditional worship style, where there's responsive reading, there's collective scripture reading out loud and prayers out loud, recite the creeds, those kinds of things, maybe a little bit more formal. The priest or the minister will wear robes, those kinds of things, and they follow a set order of service. And the non-liturgical services are what people typically would refer to as those services that are a little bit more free-form. They don't necessarily follow a traditional way of worshiping. They may change it up from time to time, and people would refer to that more of kind of a casual, contemporary type of a worship style. So that's just kind of the wave tops. There's a whole lot more that goes into whether a service is liturgical or not. Even those that people would consider non-liturgical, they still have a liturgy. They still have a way that they're doing their worship. It's just not necessarily the formal, traditional, kind of published way that all of that particular denomination uses across the world to do their worship services on any given Sunday. They're just whatever they determine, however they feel like they need to express their worship that week. That would be a non-liturgical service. Anyway, I hope that helps. Liturgical versus non-liturgical. People are really asking if it's traditional worship style that has a history behind it that's unified across the world for that denomination, or if it's a non-liturgical, more of a kind of a casual, contemporary expression of worship, depending on how that particular church decides that they're going to express their worship to God. I hope that helps. Thanks for that question. I look forward to what you got for me next week. Thanks.